All right, what is up, guys? My name is Ariel, and I'm a registered dietitian. And today we're going to be going over healthy breakfasts. It's weird saying breakfast in the plural, breakfasts, and to see if it's a healthy or if it's something that you should rather skip. And it does not necessarily mean the first thing you have in the morning. At the end of the day, breakfast just means break fast. So this will just be your first meal. Starting off with donuts. This is automatically going to go at D for donuts because probably one of the worst times to have something very high in fats and sugar will be in the morning when you're most insulin sensitive since you've been fasting for around 7 to 8 hours, assuming that you've slept enough. And it really is not going to fill you up at all. And it is a bad combination of having fried foods with sugar, so this is going to spike your blood sugar, not give you any protein, give you a temporary high, and then when the blood sugar crash, make you feel pretty tired around 12 to 1 p.m. So it is not ideal and not good. I don't recommend it. And for some reason at work, that is the food that people bring the most for breakfast. Hey, I just brought some donuts. How about you don't bring this poison into our work environment? I would appreciate that greatly. And it's never the good donuts, it's usually those crusty donuts, but I digress. I don't know what this is. This looks like beans, I believe. If this is beans, yeah, this will be in so so. These look kind of glazed or with some kind of sauce in it. But beans are a good source of fiber and other minerals such as riboflavin. So definitely a lot better than donuts, and they do have some protein. People think that beans are solely a protein source, but they're actually a carb source and they have a residual amount of protein. So, when I used to be vegan, I know a lot of people regarded beans as a protein source, but personally, I think it is a carb source. So, these look like granola bars. Although it's very convenient, granola are one of those foods that a lot of people think they're healthy. Also, with Nature Valley, the way of their packaging makes it seem like it's something very healthy, but again, it does not have much protein, which protein is not only necessary to build muscle, it is essential in keeping your blood sugar levels stable throughout the day. Because if you have carbs with protein and fats, this helps slow down the glucose spike throughout the day. So not only am I mentioning protein all the time just to get protein in, it's so we could have stable blood sugars. And this will help prevent energy crashes and having cravings throughout the day, having mood swings, or even being hangry. So definitely something to look into. Cereal. Cereal is absolute trash. I'm sorry, and I know I'm being a little extreme. I'm being a little extreme. I have cereal every now and then. I personally check my blood sugar every now and then. I'm not diabetic, but I notice cereal is the food that affects my blood sugar the most, and with the clients that I work with. So definitely, the first thing in the morning should not be a huge glycemic blood sugar crash or blood sugar spike. That should be not how you start your day. Eggs, very healthy. So if you have them scrambled, if you have them sunny side up, eggs have every single amino acid. So it is giving you a decent amount of protein. And if you combine it with other foods, not saying that carbs are bad, carbs are actually very necessary, but it just depends if you combine it with protein as well to slow down the glucose spike. Unless you're in a special situation where you have breakfast and immediately go to the gym, then you don't want as much protein. You want things that are easier to digest, such as this next one, fruit. Very healthy. Fruit has a bunch of vitamins and minerals, and it also has a lot of fiber, so slow down the glucose spike. That is the difference between fruit, whole fruit, and fruit juice. Because fruit juice is basically all the fiber from this fruit. You extracted all of it, and then you're left with this liquid that is very high in sugar and high in calories without filling you up. So I guess the only case use situation would be if you're hypoglycemic and want to get your blood glucose high pretty quick, go with a juice. But for the majority amount of people, I would recommend to not have juices, especially in the morning. And also is one of the biggest contributing factors to childhood obesity. Not juice, but liquid calories in general, because they're very easy to overconsume. Granola. So I'm not gonna repeat myself. I said what I had to say about granola with granola bars. Greek yogurt, amazing, very healthy. Greek yogurt has a lot of probiotics. Is also very high in protein, and it pairs really well with fiber dense foods like I was about to say broccoli with blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. So yes, Greek yogurt is an amazing go-to. Cottage cheese is a close second. So jam, it believe it or not, there are sugar-free jams out there. So I would recommend that. I would put this at C. Some are naturally used with preserves, but a lot of added sugar is in this. So I would say no. Oatmeal. Oatmeal is amazing, very healthy because oatmeal has a lot of soluble fiber, which is the type of fiber that lowers our LDL because fiber it binds to the gut and you end up pooping. I'm sorry. Soluble fiber binds to cholesterol in the gut and you end up excreting cholesterol through your poop. So, yes, oats are amazing. They are a carb source, so I like to pair it with a protein. I'll either put some protein powder in it and have like a protein oatmeal or have some eggs on the side. Pancakes, although they are delicious, I would put this in C tier. Not, I shouldn't have to explain, but especially when you add butter, you're adding a lot of calories to start the day. So, yeah, not ideal. Pastries. I see some chocolate croissants in there, which are delicious. I might be a little biased, but I love them so much. But still, for the same reason with pancakes, I will put it in C tier. I would say that pastries, depending on how much you get, but if you get one, it's at least portion controlled. And if you combine it with a protein source, it's not as bad. But I'll put it here in not healthy. And same thing with toast. If you have toast by itself, it's not ideal unless you're going to work out right after having it. But I would put this in. I'll put it in so-so. Bread inherently is not unhealthy, but if you have it by itself, then uh, it's not ideal. So yeah, this basically wraps up the video. I wanted to keep it short and concise today, and hope you enjoyed.